You have a TV?
No. I just like to read the TV guide. Read the TV guide. You don't need a TV.
Television addict! Television addict! Television addict!
Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's Wednesday. It's time for a brand new edition of TV Guidance Counselor. As always, I am Ken Reed. I am your host as we talk with comedians, celebrities, people I know about old television we watched growing up, using TV guides as our doorways into the past. And this week my guest is the wonderful Jo Firestone. Jo is a comedian, is incredibly funny, super weird, which is a total compliment coming from me. You've seen her Comedy Central half-hour special. She's a writer for The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon and appears on that show often. She does a lot of stuff with Aparna Nancherla, who was on this show a year and a half ago, and they're very funny. Jo cracks me up. Again, I feel like I say this more than I feel like I don't on the show, but as a comedian, I'm a little bit jaded about what makes me laugh, and Jo is a person that makes me laugh all the time. First met her on Chris Duffy's You're the Expert show. We've been on, I think, a couple of those together, and always enjoyed her work. So we sat down outside on a concrete stairwell in Harvard Square recently when she was very jet-lagged, and we talked about TV circa 1993. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy today's episode of TV Guidance Counselor with my guest, Jo Firestone.
TV is my friend, and it has been always there for me in time of need.
Jo Firestone, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. I know you're very tired. You've been traveling.
I'm pretty tired, but I'm excited.
Okay. I'm tired, excited.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've done my best work when I've been very punchy.
Yeah.
Although no one else agreed that it was my best work.
But as long as you feel like that.
Yeah. When I was in a band, I had a kidney stone.
Oh.
Which was awful.
They sound so bad.
But I don't do any drugs and I don't drink, so I have no tolerance for anything. And they gave me some super heavy duty painkiller, and I played a show that night, and I don't remember anything. And people were like, "You were saying the weirdest shit." And I was like, "I bet I was." Sure that I was.
Well, I feel a little punchy after you told me about.
Oh, the nap station?
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe's been trying to find it. We're outside here in Harvard Square in Cambridge, Massachusetts, by the Brattle Theater. And you just flew in from New Orleans this morning, right?
Yes.
And so you were looking for a place to nap. And there literally was a business next to this theater that was like a Japanese style, like you sleep in a pod
Makes me
nap
so
station.
upset.
Yeah. But then it closed and got turned into like a gaming room where like people play like, I don't even know what the game is, like Duke Nukem or something, where they, they're on a computer and they shoot things.
Oh.
I don't know what that game is. Minecraft? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not familiar with them.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Minecraft's very popular with children.
Yes, it was always like teenagers, so it was like no more naps, now like death games.
Oh, let's go back to naps.
Yes, naps are much better. So we'll get you out of here soon. And if people are listening and it's just me talking for like more than 10 minutes, Joe fell asleep.
Yeah.
or if a very unconvincing impression of you starts.
Yeah,
It's
great.
me just doing the conversation
Can
with
I
myself.
hear it really quick?
I don't know if I could do. I'm not a good impressionist. I guess
I'm not either.
you kind of have this kind of voice. I don't know. Is that you?
I'll take it.
Is that all right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that was kind of like that. It's smaller. It's smaller than me. And a tired voice. So I applied you with sort of a stack of different TV guides here, and immediately you went this one.
Yeah.
It's the final episode of Cheers.
Closing time at Cheers.
Add it all up. This is May 15th through the 21st, 1993, and you're a big Cheers fan.
I love Cheers.
Is that an adult onset Cheers fandom?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
But the thing is, I really didn't watch it growing up, and then I started watching it 2 years ago, and I really didn't know if Sam and Diane were going to get together.
Because it was so long ago that you either didn't remember
No.
or you just never heard how it...
No, and then someone told me what happened, and I guess I can say what happened. 'Cause
Yeah,
it happened
it's
a long
been a
time
while.
ago.
Yeah.
They get together, and then they break up.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the point of all this? I was in for the Right.
Because people don't want to watch like a happy couple. I think it's boring for people, or if they're not in a relationship, it's annoying. It's like when your friend, like your single friend that you always would hang out with, gets a significant other, and then you're like, I kind of hate you now.
Yeah, I just think that all TV shows should be 2 seasons long until they get together and then cut it.
Yeah. I always someone got really mad at me because I was talking about the superhero movies, and I was complaining that they're all origin stories, and they were like, no, you need that. And I was like, we don't need that in romantic comedies. Like, we don't need to know, like, all right, he met when he was an elevator operator, but I want to see the job interview and, like, how he got that job. And
yeah.
because it's mostly, like, after they've already been in a relationship.
Right.
Or, I mean, you need an event of some sort.
We need an event.
Yeah.
But barely.
Well, if it's a Judd Apatow movie, you don't.
You just...
They're just married.
They're just married. You just want to have hope. That's all. That's the only reason I watch any of these.
So you want to believe
terrible shows.
That they are together forever.
I just want to believe that they could be. I don't even care, actually, once they get together. I really don't care.
Yeah.
I just like the courting.
Yes.
And I think stretch out the courting for 8 seasons if you must.
8
I'll
season
stay with you.
Courtship of Eddie's Father, weirdly, not about courting. That show.
Okay.
It's about a single dad with his kid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
called
romantic.
The Courtship of Eddie's Father. Well, they were very much in love, but in a very platonic way.
Did they have chemistry?
They certainly did. It was Brendan Cruz and why am I forgetting his name? The guy who played the Incredible Hulk.
Which
he's
time?
dead. In the 80s, 70s and 80s. Who's dead now. But I can't believe I forgot his name. But they had pretty good chemistry. And then Brendan Cruz became a punk rocker.
Oh.
Was in a band called Dr. No, and then was the fill-in singer for the band The Dead Kennedys.
Really?
Yeah.
That's such a little fun career.
It is an odd trajectory.
What do you think his favorite thing was?
Out of all the things he's done, he was touchy about Courtship of Eddie's Father. So I'm guessing probably the Dead Kennedys. But then, he's not an original member. It's gotta be
people
weird.
change. People grow.
And I imagine a lot of people in the audience are like, you're not my real singer.
Oh, shit.
I feel like any replacement singers in bands should be called a step singer.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, because then they're not fooling anybody.
A singer-in-law?
Singer-in-law, or Sammy Hagar should be the step singer of Van Halen.
Oh, you're right. I don't know how you could do it. Maybe you could add it to Wikipedia.
Maybe. Yeah, and then it'll be up for 2 days.
Yeah, it seems like that's the only way to get out information at this point.
I keep updating the Wikipedia, but nothing has changed.
It's a slow process.
Have you ever updated anything in Wikipedia?
One time I added my friend as an important alumni of a college he went to while he was still going to that college.
Oh, so at least he went. Did it get taken down?
Oh yeah.
Did he notice?
And it wasn't even that funny. I wish I could have made it more funny, but I think I said like doctor. It was a poorly planned joke.
I got banned from Wikipedia for a while because I changed in my petty juvenile nature, changed all the entries for like every Trump property to just have like really bizarre court cases.
That's so great.
Cited. And it's stuff you do when you're bored at work.
It's a very good use of time.
I think so. For the 4 hours that it was there.
Yeah.
If one person saw those and was like, wow, Mar-a-Lago got sued for an illegal pelican fighting ring.
That's the best kind of fake news.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm not taking any blame for anything he's done. So Saturday night here on May 15th, where we're in a sad time for TV because we're into rerun season soon. And everything's winding down. It used to make me a little sad. I don't know if you felt that way.
I didn't understand how television worked until maybe this year.
And you've worked in it for several years now.
Yeah, I don't understand the seasons or what. Yeah.
I mean, they're less relevant now because things don't really air in that sort of model anymore as much. But it was a big deal. And it was a mixture of excited that school was over.
Oh, yeah.
And disappointed that TV shows were over until September.
Which one did you want more? School to be over or TV shows to start again?
Probably school to be over because I could watch
school
reruns.
Sucked.
I hated school so much.
School is so bad.
I was so not engaged either.
You had to do work at home.
Yeah, homework. What's that about? Anyone I know who does work at home like after hours for their job is a miserable human being.
Yeah, why'd they give out homework? I guess to keep the kids from running and doing drugs?
I guess, but I don't know what it was supposed to teach you. It was...
I don't know.
Yeah.
Diligence?
Maybe. This was you grew up in St. Louis?
Mm-hmm.
Were you in the city proper?
We were, and then we moved to the county.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Good barbecue there.
Yes.
What's your...
Pappy's.
Pappy's is the best place?
People like Pappy's. I don't eat meat, but I've heard good things about Pappy's.
I've heard good things about Pappy's meat.
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten meat? Have you always
I
been a
have
vegetarian?
eaten meat in the past, but not since I learned about Pappy's.
Yes. You were like, that place is so good, I don't want to eat meat anywhere else, and it'll be ruined forever because of Pappy's. When did you move to New York?
7.5 years ago.
To do comedy, or were you just like, I just want to move?
To do comedy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Were you doing it in St. Louis?
Yes.
I know nothing about St. Louis. There's a comedy scene?
Well, there's a
some
bigger
people?
comedy scene now, but before it was kind of small. It was like there was an improv school, but it was like maybe I'd go ahead and round it up to 21 people.
Nice. And it was an adjunct to Pappy's.
Yeah.
That's the only business
Yeah.
in St. Louis. Right?
Yes.
It's this one guy. He's like, Pappy's Barbecue and Improv School.
Yes. Well, it was kind of like that. And I remember, like, we performed in this for a while before we got moved out. We performed in this white space, like, in the bottom of, like a bunch of different businesses, like, had, like, shared a rental.
Right.
It was, like, in the bottom of a corporate building. And it was, like, a completely white basement. And I remember thinking, this is the worst place to do comedy.
Yeah. Tableau Rasa room. Open it up as a bar.
But then we got to move to this pizza place where there was a stage and you got a free pizza if you performed.
Nice, large or small?
Well, you had to share it with everyone, so you had to agree on the toppings.
Oh, one free pizza.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why people were like, I'm quitting improv and doing stand-up now.
Right.
Because I get my own pizza. And that's how the stand-up scene in St. Louis was
Exactly.
born. Although I imagine there probably is a long-form improv troupe called Low and Slow.
Oh, yeah.
If not, we should move back to St. Louis and start one and own that
I'm happy to
town.
do that. I'm happy to do that.
Own that town.
Own it.
What'd you pick for Saturday Night at 8?
I picked Matlock.
So were you a big Matlock fan?
Here's the problem with Matlock is that I like it when I don't. I figured it was Saturday night. I don't want to think. I just want to chill out. But the problem with Matlock is you see who does it before
Right.
the show even starts. So it's like, what's the point of watching this?
So you like a mystery, like to the Cheers thing. If you had known that Sam and Diane got together, would you have still watched it
No.
from the beginning?
No.
So you only like the mystery. You don't like to see how it unfolds.
No.
Wow.
I don't care about it that much.
So this one is from 1988, and Matlock locks horns with Washington's power elite as he probes a conspiracy to frame a columnist for the murder of her source. It's a pretty heavy Matlock.
Yeah.
That seems like political Matlock seems like something I didn't know existed.
Yeah. He seems like a real Southern Democrat, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, and have you ever seen A Face in the Crowd that Andy Griffith was in?
Mm-mm.
It was kind of the first thing he did, and it's basically the Trump presidency, but in 1960.
What?
So it's this guy who's like, it's a Southern guy, but he's like, I'm just like you. I'm going to show it these elites. And he gets almost to the presidency, but his downfall is, and it's like a dark comedy, but his downfall is he's about to go live on TV and doesn't know that he's on the air. And he's like, all these dummies believe in all this shit that I'm telling them. They're a bunch of idiots.
Classic.
Yeah, and then everyone's like, ooh, screw you. But it's eerily accurate. And he's
Whoa.
really good in it as like a kind of slimy Southern liar.
Good for him. My friend is from his town, the town where the Andy Griffith show was.
Oh, North Carolina?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like the biggest claim to fame. And that's
Yep.
still, that was so many years ago. But that's like their biggest industry is tourism.
I like that show, but I've never been like, I gotta go.
I mean,
I
that's
gotta
the
go to
people
Midway.
that gotta go they're dying out.
Yeah. Was there any show or movie that you were like, I have to go to where that was?
No.
Nothing.
No.
There's nothing
I
you're
really
nothing of a fan of.
I have a very specific thing I get out of TV and movies. And it's
Time killing?
not, it's like, I think it's like just an escape. It's
Yeah.
like a short escape that I don't really invest too much in.
So you don't like really heavy stuff, and you kind of want just to unwind.
Yes.
Kind of like more conscious than a nap, but less conscious than reading.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. I'll go, I like, I'll turn, the most heavy stuff I'll do is Planet Earth.
Oh yeah, that is kind of devastating sometimes.
It is
like,
really devastating.
I get so upset when like cheetahs eat an animal or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know they have to do
No,
that.
and you're like, why don't you just stand there with your camera?
Yeah, help them.
Help them.
It is a lot better now. Like Disney got in a lot of trouble for that because they used to set up a lot of those nature shots
No.
with like animals getting killed. Like there's a famous thing where, have you heard the myth about lemmings that they'll all follow each other like off a cliff and all die?
What are lemmings again?
They're kind of like little cute little mice type rat rodents.
Made them sound real cute.
Yeah, cute little filthy and like lice infested, cute, kind of bubonically cute, mangy rodents. But they're cute little micey type characters.
Okay.
And I forget where they're native, but there was a myth that like if one of them, they all follow each march in a line like ants, and if one of them falls off a cliff, they all will just do it too. And that's completely made up, and it was from a Disney quote-unquote documentary where they made them do that. They like forced all these little mice to basically walk the plank off like a cliff to their death.
How did they do that?
I don't know how they did it. They probably had some sort of blackmail material on them.
On the little lemmings?
Yeah. No, I think they just like stood behind them and basically pushed them off this thing.
Whoa.
And it came out like 20 years later. And people were a little bit outraged, but I don't think enough outraged for that.
That's really weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bet there were whole expressions formed after that. It's like, well, don't be a lemming.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's what it was. It was like, if all your friends jumped off a bridge.
Would you be a lemming?
Yeah. And you have people, actually National Lampoon before SNL had a Woodstock parody live show called Lemmings. Based on that. Like, they're just all followers. And then if you listen to right-wing radio ever, which I would not recommend, but I do because I'm not angry enough, you do have people call up and they're like, these lemmings, they're just following the blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's still today people use it.
Lemmings have such a bad rap.
Yeah. They didn't kill each other. They didn't commit suicide.
That's messed up, Disney.
It was murder. Walt Disney did murder. Speaking of murder, I am going to go with Cops that night because
You are?
I still watch it to this day.
It's really, they gotta get better cameras.
They do have somewhat better cameras now. But in the olden days, my favorite thing is when like you actually have to see the guy changing the lenses as they go inside.
Yeah.
Or like hearing the cameraman like because he's chasing the cop. And this one is in Fort Worth, Texas. And we have Fort Worth Officer Maureen Harkriker and J.R. Jacoby answer a man with a gun call and arrest the suspect.
How do cops work? Is it just like one, like, police department will be called, be like, guys, you're getting on cops?
Well, here's the interesting thing is most states have a thing called a ride-along law where because you pay for the police station, you can request to go on a ride-along, which means you can go, look, on this shift, I want to be in the car and ride along and like audit what you do. So one of the producers at Fox realized this and realized it's free to do that. So you can bring a camera and shoot this show for free.
No.
So a lot of states started, once it got popular, started like kind of changing the ride-along law that you couldn't film it. So now it's kind of just in the states where you can do that.
Whoa.
And also some states have laws that if you're arrested for a crime, you don't have to sign a release form for your face to be used. So cops,
that's so fucked.
They film there a lot, so they don't have to worry about that stuff.
Right.
Plus, or they just go to Florida because
Florida.
things are nuts. Yeah. One of my favorite episodes of Cops was, I don't know why they were in this woman's house, but they opened a door to a room and this parrot came out and attacked them. And the woman's like, don't go in there, that's his room. And the parrot was yelling, get out. He was like, get out, get out.
Whoa.
And the cops were just laughing, but I'm like, this parrot was like, get out of my room. It was great. And that's the kind of documentary I like. Not set up at all. 9 o'clock would you go with?
9 o'clock I went with Ren and Stimpy and then Afraid of the Dark.
So you were a SNICK kid.
Well, I wasn't. We didn't have cable, but I would rent the orange VHS tapes.
Oh, yes. There was 4.
Yes.
They were all very good. It would be Pete and Pete interstitials.
Uh-huh.
Are You Afraid of the Dark? Sadly, Roundhouse, which was terrible. Maybe the worst sketch show of all time, I think.
You think so?
It was real bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because they would do the music and then like dramatic scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, someone was like, I think the Fly Girls on In Living Color should just have their own sketch show. It's like,
It was. I remember just thinking it was so great. Like my friend had cable, and we would watch SNICK all night.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a huge deal to have programming specifically for what became tweens, which nobody was doing.
No.
So it seemed like you were like, yeah, they get me, man.
Yes.
And it goes till 10 o'clock. And
Right.
Stay up late. Yeah, it was a huge deal. This was the debut year of SNICK as well.
Whoa.
And if you ever want to revisit SNICK, I have every Saturday night of SNICK on DVD
No.
from the original VHS tapes with commercials and everything.
Whoa.
Have you met like Danny Tamborelli or Mike Morona?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah. Well, I didn't watch them as kids.
You never
so
watched Pete and Pete?
I didn't watch it enough. Like
Yeah.
I would just kind of like, we would go to the movie store like maybe every Friday. I would rent one movie, so it wasn't
Yeah.
always SNICK.
Right,
You know,
right.
sometimes it was, Death Becomes Her or something.
Yes, which is a great movie.
It's a great movie.
That is an underrated movie.
I know.
I loved that movie.
I remember I watched it like maybe once a month
Yeah,
when I was a kid.
yeah. It's and Bruce Willis is really good as like
He's
a
really
nerdy
good.
loser.
Yeah.
Like, he should
Goldie
be as well.
Hawn is really good.
She's great in everything, and Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
Always good.
Always good.
That movie's underrated. Makes
Yeah.
a great double feature with She Devil, the Roseanne movie. You ever seen that?
I have not seen. I want to see that.
Meryl Streep plays like a super bitch that steals Roseanne's husband, played by Corbin Burnson.
Oh
And
man.
Roseanne's like a frumpy, ugly housewife. So she makes a pledge to get revenge on them all and has like a 10-year plan to enact revenge.
Whoa.
It's really funny and weird and dark.
Man,
Great Death Becomes Her mixture.
that seems. I'll check it out.
Ren and Stimpy's also one of those shows that you would watch and kind of feel like you were going to get in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
You're like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be watching
Yeah,
this.
I like that. I still kind of feel like that.
Yeah, I think like your parents are going to be like, hey, we reviewed some vlogs from '93, and you were watching some stuff
Yeah.
that we shouldn't have approved.
It just seemed like it was like anti-parents.
Yeah.
Like it was like
Nickelodeon was like that, just in general at the time. It was very much like, it's us versus them, man.
right,
Parents don't get us. Yeah, this adult world is bullshit, man.
right.
Which they don't have now. I don't-
No. Well, they have the Disney Channel. They have those shows, but I feel like those are pretty pro-parent.
Yeah, I think, or the parents are just dumb. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
they're not against us. They're just stupid.
Right, right.
They're
Or like
silly.
they're just kind of side characters.
Yeah, or the kids have to parent them like,
Right.
I'm the adult. I'm so Raven. Is there anyone you've met since you've started doing comedy that you used to watch on things that you were like really starstruck by?
Mm. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Do you remember who it was?
Yeah, like I remember when I first met Michael Showalter. I was really excited.
You're a big state person?
Yeah, I liked like all of and Michael Ian Black. I was just like really excited because I just
Yeah.
like watched it. I was like, oh my god, this is such
You're
funny
right here.
comedy, you
Yeah.
know. And then it was very exciting to meet them.
Were you watching a lot of game shows when you were growing up? Because you're one of the things that you're well known for.
Yeah, no, my dad like would make up a lot of game shows.
Right, well, that makes sense. Okay.
So, yeah, I don't have any practical game show.
In what context would he make them up, though? Would he be like, Joe, if you'd like to eat breakfast this morning, you need to win your breakfast?
Kind of, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What's
He's like
behind?
he is kind of like he's a ham, and he like really likes to, like he was always making up stuff and making us do things. Like he was
Right.
like we were kind of just like his toys.
That's why you have
like-
kids.
Yes, like but I remember he like would dress us up and like make us do stunts, and he was like always doing something.
Fall in the boxes.
Right. Right. Like I remember he made my brother his magician's assistant. Would go out and he was a magician and would go out and perform, and have it like he was.
So he was a stage magician, your dad?
No, I mean
Oh.
he was like very amateur.
Okay.
But like he would perform at like a nursing home or something. I mean,
Okay. For
and
like a
birthday
captive
parties
audience.
and- yeah, yeah,
Don't clap. I
yeah.
know you can't.
yeah. But he was like always kind of up to something and getting us to.
So does he try to sort of, I know you've used him on stuff before,
Mhm.
but does he sort of try to jump on the Firestone train of,
Well, we
like-
do Punderdome together.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But was that like his idea?
That was my idea, and then I
Okay.
brought him in.
Yeah. So, but I'm sure he
But
loves it.
he loves it.
Is he ever like, hey, I got an idea for a magic trick we can do in the
Always.
middle of the show?
Always. He
Your
got a
brother's
new.
up for it.
He got a new. No, never. He got a new thing that was like this puppet face
Okay.
where you put it over your face and then he can move the mouth.
Oh, like a human ventriloquist.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's frightening.
That's terrifying.
And he made me do it. Like, we got into a huge fight about it because he's like, you have to do it. I brought it in my suitcase. And I was like, I can't do this. This is so terrible.
I'm literally making you my puppet.
and then we did it, and it was like such a fail. It was like the audience was like, what the hell is going
creeped
on?
out now. Like, your childhood wasn't literal enough. I need to literally do this now.
But that's his thing.
My
Anyways.
dad, who's also named Ken Reed, but he's Kenneth S. Reed Jr.
Oh.
Kenneth W. Reed. He is desperately wanted to be a comedian. Never tried it, never. But he called me a couple years ago and was literally like, hey, how about we do like a comedy set together? Or like, maybe on one of the shows you do, you could have me do some time.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't think so. And he's like, you think people will get confused? I can go up as Ken Reed Jr.
Oh.
And I'm like, first of all, that would not make people less confused if a man who was older than me was on the same show named Ken Reed Jr. Like, that would make that almost is so weird. It might be funny. But that is, oh boy, yeah, nope.
I know, but then it's like you've crushed his dreams.
But that's okay because he crushed mine. It's just like a little bit of payback. It's not a problem. Sunday night, 8 o'clock. What you got with here?
Wait, oh yeah, I just wanted to say that Saturday night I was going to stay up late and watch Dancing at the Hot Spot.
Dancing at the Hot Spot after SNL. It would be on at like 1:30 in the morning. Were you a big, like, watching those dance shows type?
I love, well, in St. Louis, they had, after SNL, it was country square dancing.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
It was line dancing, yeah.
Yeah, there used to be a show on TNN, the Nashville network, called Club Dance.
Oh.
And it was just old people in, like, tucked-in striped shirts
Yes.
with cowboy hats.
Yes.
Doing the push-tush boogie. And,
Yes, this is very similar. This was like, but it was like live for us.
Weird. So it was late at night. I guess you're an hour behind, so it wouldn't be too late because SNL would end at like 12:30. But still, you're basically watching a live feed to Last Call at some country bar.
Yes.
You know what? I think I'd actually watch that.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
I'm just picturing did you ever watch The Real World? LA?
Yes.
I'm just picturing a whole room of John Brennan's. True story, John Brennan's. I used to watch Soul Train at night, which I loved.
Soul Train's pretty great.
So alien to me.
Yeah.
We got black people, I think, in the 80s here. And it
In
was the first
Boston?
time, it was the first time they approved it.
Wow.
No, but it was just, Boston's such a segregated city, you never really...
Yeah. Just Sam J does a bit in her set about how Boston is such a different racist than LA.
Oh, it totally is. It's not I always call it, it's not racism so much as artisanal xenophobia. In that it's not that you're black, it's that you're not my family.
Oh,
That's how
wow.
people act. They're like, you don't fucking live on this street. And like, it's really weird.
Wow.
Yeah, it almost could be anybody. And there's another aspect of it where people feel like they're tolerant, but they're also offensive. So they'll be like, look, who fucking cares if he's a fag? Let him do it. And it's like, no, you can't. That's
No.
like, I get that it's just like that. It's very weird. Yeah.
Oh.
Sunday night, the Lord's night.
Yes, Sunday night. I'm watching Murder, She Wrote.
Oh, so you like the old people mystery show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You always like that.
I like them. I like Law and Order too.
Did you watch them with your parents?
I watch Murder, She Wrote with my grandma. And grandpa.
And when they be like, what's your theory?
Well, they kind of, it was like the one time they weren't, because they were pretty strict, but
Right.
like they chilled out during Murder, She Wrote, and we'd always get ice cream.
Oh, nice.
And so it was like dessert, and we didn't have to like get into, like, I wasn't in trouble,
Yeah.
and it was just like, I think I had good associations with it.
ice cream and your grandparents being in a good mood. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's going to like that.
Yeah.
My grandfather only watched 3 shows. People's Court, Price is Right,
Yes.
and Hawaii Five-0.
Oh, okay.
And he was an angry old man from Norway who used to sit in the dark in the kitchen and smoke. In the dark. There was a smoke ring above where he sat. And he only ate Neapolitan ice cream. And he would eat the chocolate and the vanilla, but not the strawberry. So the freezer at their house, there was like 10 cartons of just the strawberry.
Really?
From Neapolitan. Yeah.
He didn't want to just get chocolate and vanilla?
I guess you couldn't buy chocolate and vanilla
Or
mixed.
just like chocolate and then vanilla?
It was cheaper, I guess, to buy the Neapolitan and then not eat the strawberry. It's weird. Like, I always just, when I think of my grandfather, I just picture just carton after carton of a third.
That is really
full
bizarre
strawberry.
image.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then he got into Klondike bars.
Oh.
And that was... He built a false wall. This is true. In the basement with a freezer behind it and a padlock for his Klondike bars because my uncles would steal them.
No.
Yeah. He had a false... Like it was the Nazi Germany and he was hiding people from...
No.
Yeah, he had a false wall with a padlock. Which kind of ruined the point of having a false wall. They're like, why is there a padlock on that wall? Don't worry about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a real what would you do for a Klondike bar?
Yeah, build anything. Build a false wall and lock your children out.
Wow.
Yeah. I think I'm going to watch Graveyard Shift Sunday night. Stephen King's Graveyard Shift.
Oh, yeah?
Which is about giant mutant rats.
Oh, really?
In a paper mill in Maine. Not real ones. There's no lemmings in it.
Oh.
But it was, kind of a fun Stephen King movie.
It does seem fun.
Where are we? 9 o'clock Sunday night?
Yes.
What'd you go with?
I went with Woman on the Run Part 1.
A Woman on the Run Part 1. This
Yeah.
was the time of the event television. We had the miniseries. And A Woman on the Run is the Laurencia Benbeck story, a 2-part docudrama starring Tatum O'Neal as a discharged Milwaukee cop. Discharged is a weird word. Like, could you say like a retired or like disbarred or...
A vaginal discharged.
Yeah, like that's
cop.
very, yeah. She should see a doctor. As a discharged Milwaukee cop whose romance with a divorced detective embroils her in a homicide.
Whoa, that sounds good.
That
I'd
sounds
watch
pretty
it. But I'm only going to watch it for half an hour.
Oh, is there something that just really
I wanted
caught your
to
fancy?
flip back to Kids on the Hall. Kids in the
I
Hall.
loved Kids in
Yeah.
the Hall so much. Where did you first see it at your friend's house when you were a kid?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing. That's another show where you're like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be watching this.
Yeah.
And maybe still to this day. Have you met any of those guys?
I think I've seen them in person, but I've never met
but
them.
it's totally bizarre to me because I watched that so much. I saw Brain Candy on the opening day, actually around the corner from here, and the movie literally closed the next day. And me and my friend Andrew went, and we saw it, and we were the only people in the theater.
Really?
And we just, I don't remember laughing as much as the first time I saw that movie in the theater, and it was like painful.
Why was it only there for one day?
Just no one went, and they just were like, put something else in.
Man.
It did not do well. At 9, I'm watching a miniseries called Wild Palms.
What's that?
Which was in the wake of Twin Peaks. Weirdness was huge.
Yeah.
So this was like in the future. There's like a virtual reality murderer, and James Belushi's in it, and Dana Delaney, and it was written by Bruce Wagner, who was married to Rebecca De Mornay. It was like a dark L.A. Playwright, and it was a really weird show. It was almost, they were trying to do a David Lynch show.
Okay.
And they kind of succeeded in a lot of ways, but it's weirder, sort of. And it's kind of worth revisiting. It's like a 4-hour miniseries that just nobody has any love for.
Really?
Like there's no hipster guy making like, I make Wild Palms jewelry. like that. I knitted a pillow from scenes from Wild Palms. Like there's none of that, but I kind of feel like there should be.
There should be.
Come on, guys, get on it. Wild Palms.
Come on, guys.
Monday night, what are you going with?
Monday night, I got at 8 p.m. I wanted to watch The Fresh Prince.
Was this a staple?
Yeah, I watched this, I think, every day after school.
Oh, in the when it was on reruns?
Uh-huh.
Did you have a preferred mother?
I think I liked... I'm getting mixed up who was first.
The darker skinned lady was second. No.
First.
Was first. Yeah.
I liked the first lady.
I did too, because she seemed like she'd kick your ass.
Yeah.
She was tough.
Yeah.
And she seemed like she kept Uncle Philip in line.
Yes.
And then once she was gone, I was like, Uncle Philip now seems like an abusive Dr. Phil.
Yeah, there was also drama.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, like
recently.
With the two.
There was a Fresh Prince reunion, and the first mom was not invited.
That's bullshit.
She talked about it on Facebook.
I wonder why they didn't invite her.
Because Will Smith hates her.
Why? I bet he's an asshole.
Well, they didn't like each other at all.
I bet he's like a miserable asshole. I have no basis for this other than that he didn't like her.
Hard to know.
I never.
But I think about that with the Cheers cast and how everybody hated
Shelly Long.
Shelly Long.
But that was because she left for a movie career.
But I heard they hated her before.
Maybe.
Like I heard the dynamic was kind of like how the cast was with Diane.
I mean, it might be revisionist, but I this will sound name droppy, so pull your feet up.
I'm ready for it.
But I had Ted Danson on the show.
No way.
He seemed very affectionate and positive about her. Now, I mean, I don't know about then, so I wonder if she maybe didn't get along with like the behind the scenes people, like the writer producers or something. But I loved her on that show.
She's so funny.
Yeah, and she's great. You ever see Hello Again? Mm-mm. It's I love all the movies she made when she quit Cheers. Like Hello Again, she plays.
Is that when she made True Beverly Hills?
Which that movie's really funny.
It's a really funny.
I rewatch that often.
It's
and
so
enjoy
good.
It. And I love The Money Pit, which she's great in with Tom Hanks. And but Hello Again, she plays like a suburban housewife who dies, and her sister's a witch and brings her back to life a year later.
Whoa!
So it's like she's not a zombie or anything, but it's just like everyone's moved on, and now she has to like deal with it.
Whoa!
And it's a really weird, funny, kind of like bittersweet movie that I don't think enough people watch. And I think she should have been a movie star because she's funny and stunning.
Yeah, I don't know why she wasn't a movie star.
I don't get it either. It just didn't work. And Night Shift, she's really good in.
She's so beautiful and funny.
Yeah, she was a Second City person.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, she's great. But Cheers is one of those shows where they had 2 major cast replacements, and the show didn't suffer for it.
Because Coach
and Rebecca. Like
right.
The show's just as good, kind of in both.
It's a good show. They got a good formula.
They did have a good formula. Alcoholics. Sad alcoholics in Boston. So I would sometimes watch Fresh Prince, but it was always kind of disappointing to me because I wanted it to be more like the Fresh Prince music videos.
Oh.
Like I wanted it more crazy and cartoonish. So I think I'm going to go with Evening Shade because I really love Burt Reynolds.
What's Evening Shade?
It was Burt Reynolds moved back to his old hometown down south, but he had I think he was a big sports writer in New York or something. Mm-hmm. So it was like he's a big city guy dealing with these small town folk, and it was kind of a fun show. And Linda Bloodworth Thomason, who created Designing Women, created it after Designing Women. This episode, Leah Remini is in.
Oh.
And Bob Denver shows up from Gilligan's Island. It was a fun show. It was like maybe 3 or 4 seasons, and was just kind of very under the radar and kind of just like a comfortable show. Oh, it was almost like Andy Griffith, actually.
I don't hate comfortable shows.
It was like an 80s Andy Griffith. 8:30, what'd you go with?
8:30, I thought I would turn on Blossom, just because I haven't seen it in maybe
You've never
20
seen
years.
Oh, in 20 years, yeah. I loved Blossom. It was not a show for me. I liked it anyway. But I even think it goes back to like the not programming for certain audiences. Like that was the only show I remember that was like, this show is for 13-year-old girls.
Yes.
Which we never had then.
I'm going to stand up for a second just because I'm concreted out.
This is Mayim Bialik considers saying au revoir to her family and friends to live in Paris with her mother. This was a big deal because her mother was absent.
Yeah.
And they were like, will she go? What if she can't leave us for her mother? I used to joke to my friends that they didn't know who her mother was. Like, we had a baby, we don't know who the mother is. And they were like, really? Is that it? And I'm like, no, that's not actually a thing.
No,
like,
that can't be a thing.
You would know.
You'd know.
Who the mother is. We need to do a maternity test. That would be a fun parody. Maternity tests like on Maury.
Oh, that would be so funny.
You are the mother.
You are the mother. What happened to the lady that played Blossom?
Mayim Bialik, she went and got like an advanced doctorate degree somewhere, and she wrote a bunch of books about like homeopathic, like breastfeed your kids till they're 30 kind of things, and now she's also on Big Bang Theory.
No way.
Yeah, she's on there often. And Jenna Von Oy, who was 6, has written a couple of really funny books, like memoir books about raising kids. And her new one's called Situation Momedy. That's actually pretty funny. And she's a sweetheart. Had her on the show. Very nice.
Whoa.
I got to hear about her working with Little Richard on Blossom, which was amazing.
Whoa.
So I'm obsessed with how crazy that man is. 9:30? 8:30. We did Blossom. 9 o'clock. What'd you do? 9 o'clock. I did
9 o'clock. I did 9 o'clock. I did 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. I did 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. I did 9 o'clock. 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 Oh, I did a program called Dancing.
Just dancing.
Uh-huh.
Let's see if they give us any sort of info about dancing.
I don't know if I really want to know any more information.
Than dancing?
Yeah.
Here's the weird thing. It's on the sports channel. That's the only 2 bits of information we have, is that it's dancing on the sports channel, so maybe it's competitive.
Oh, that's even
Yeah,
better.
dance competitions on the sports channel. That's when like the sports channel was desperate and would show like Magic the Gathering tournaments and stuff.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, they would just Scrabble, like anything.
Whoa.
Anything. I'm watching part 2 of Wild Palms because
Oh, yeah.
I'm in, you know.
You love it.
I
You
do want
love
to
it.
mention Wild Palms has a 900 number that they advertise.
No.
So you can call and get storyline updates.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. They were ahead of the curve pre-internet, really trying to get the audience engaged for 75 cents a
Whoa.
minute. Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. What are you going with?
I did the second half of Late to Dinner.
Late to Dinner is a movie,
Mm-hmm.
correct? Which movie? I'm thinking of... Is that the one where he's frozen?
I couldn't remember, but I remember thinking I liked it.
I need to look this up now. Hold on a sec. I'll look in the very handy TV Guide movie section.
Please do.
In the back. And how you holding up tired-wise?
I'm doing pretty good.
Okay, all right. Let's see. HIJKL. Late to Dinner. We have... Oh, Late for Dinner. Yeah, 1991. Brother-in-laws Brian Wimmer and Peter Berg try to pick up their former lives after being frozen for 29 years.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm glad I made that
Yep.
decision.
Marcia Gay Harden.
And I chose the second half, so I'll really find the resolution.
Yeah, you're like, I get they were frozen. I don't need to see it happen.
No, I don't want to see the thawing and stuff.
I
I
don't
just
need
want to
the
see how
whole-
they figure out their lives.
It's much like Hello Again.
Yeah.
Do you ever see Flight of the Navigator?
No.
Disney movie.
Okay.
Kid gets kidnapped by an alien. Alien drops him back on Earth 17 years later. Kid hasn't aged because of
What?
physics, but his parents are old. His younger brother's now like 20. And
Oh.
they're like, what the fuck? And that terrified me.
That's a pretty scary thing for a Disney movie.
Yeah. Sarah Jessica Parker's in it as a punk rocker.
Nice.
And it's, yeah. And then the government kidnaps the kid because they think he has star charts in his brain that they want to get out.
Star charts
Yep.
in his brain.
Voice of the ship, Paul Rubens.
Really?
So he gets kidnapped by if Pee Wee Herman was a spaceship.
Wow.
Yeah. Flight of the Navigator. It's a terrifying fun one.
I just went on E.T. the ride.
How was that?
That's pretty great.
I
It
thought
holds
they
up.
closed that ride.
No, it's really great and it's open.
Is it in Florida?
Yeah.
What is it? Do you sit in a basket and they ride you on a
No,
bike?
you sit on a bike.
And
You're not E.T. You're holding E.T.
Ah. I feel like that's a misnomer. It should be called Elliot the Ride. 'Cause if, you know,
Elliot the ride. Well, it's kind of like they try to set it up pretty good, and you're holding E.T. in your basket, but everyone's on the bike. And so everyone's on their own bike.
Okay.
But then you're like going through cars and you're going through the woods.
So everyone has their own ET?
No, everyone just has one ET that
So
we're all holding in one car.
Oh, that sounds like an ayahuasca experience. Maybe if we could get Mike Kaplan to just go on ET the Ride, he would stop doing ayahuasca. It's just like, no, man, you're
There's
on
only
different
one
bikes, but
ET.
you're all holding the same ET, man. And he's in your basket, but he's like guiding you.
And he's in everyone's basket.
But you need to pedal to get there, man. ET's in everyone's basket. Oh man, we should start a cult. I think
Yes.
we could do this. We're gonna make so much money between that and the Low and Slow improv troupe. that we're
Let's hope
starting in-
so.
yeah.
I'm ready to really kick it up a notch in
Yeah.
my living situation.
Well, ET is with all of us. So you're watching that till 9. I am watching Hanging with Mr. Cooper, which I did enjoy.
Oh, I like that
Yeah,
too.
I enjoyed that show.
I really like that.
Holly Robinson Peete and Full House. It's
What
the,
happened to that guy?
the guy from Full House.
No, Mr. Cooper. He got a show on.
He's the
He's
dad
a-
on one of those Disney shows.
Yes, a
Yeah.
Disney show
Yeah,
with,
Mark. What's his
Mark
name?
Cooper.
Yeah, no, it's not
No,
Cooper.
Mark-
He was a comedian. He was a stand-up
Yeah.
comedian. I can't remember his name right now. I do want to mention Rescue 911, which is one of my all-time favorite shows. Did you ever watch it?
No.
This is brilliant. This was not a comedy, I want to emphasize. Hosted by William Shatner. They took real 911 calls, which are public domain pieces of information that you can get and do whatever you want with, and reenacted them with really bad actors.
No.
And it was fantastically funny. And I have no problem laughing at it because they never showed ones where like, and then he died. Like, it was all about people being rescued. But it is amazing. And it is not supposed to be funny. And
I
it's
gotta
really
watch
fun.
this.
There's a lot of it on YouTube. This episode, a man who was bitten by a snake in Australia, a power mower mishap in Montana, a Houston youngster who has a serious heart problem, and a pregnant woman in Connecticut who went into labor during a blizzard.
Wow.
That's a
I
packed
feel
hour.
like you would have to feel a little controversy around doing that show, so.
Because you're like exploiting people's
deepest fears and
like their experiences that happened.
yes.
That was weird. But they do that now. Like whenever there's a 911 call, they will play them on the news where it's like, this idiot called 911 because
Right.
they were out of McNuggets.
Right.
Or that kind of stuff. So like I feel like that's worse if they're like at least dramatizing and like making you feel like a hero. Because they'd interview the people as well. Like they'd intercut it with like.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give them another
Yeah.
chance to seem normal.
The best one, and I can't find this one anywhere, is a guy was in a hotel and he was in the hot tub and he got stuck in the jet,
No.
like his yeah.
Oh no.
And he called 911 and he's like, I'm stuck in a hot tub. And they're like, what do you mean you're stuck? Is it like, he's like, and it's so funny. And then they like turn it's great. It is really great. And that's the one where they did not interview the guy.
Oh my god.
But man, I might put that on
He
my
tried
resume.
to have sex with a jet.
Yeah, like he was like, this hot tub's great. No one's around. Oh no. I feel like it's important to show that because kids don't know now, and they might get in trouble.
No, they don't know that you can't have sex with a hot tub.
And they might end up, a guy might end up having a kid and not knowing who the mother is.
Exactly.
So 9 o'clock, what are you going with?
9 o'clock. I chose Roseanne and then Home Improvement.
Love Roseanne.
I love Roseanne. It's so funny.
It holds up so well.
But that last episode is
Did you
terrible.
hate it?
I hated it.
See, I kind of loved it.
I hated it so much.
But for someone who likes surprises.
I guess so. Yes.
But the reason I liked it was the whole last season was garbage with that they won the lottery and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
do you know
terrible.
the story behind that? Why they did that?
Well, it was something that the writers hated.
Well, everyone hated her. But she bought the U.S. remake rights to Absolutely Fabulous and pitched it to all the networks, and no one wanted it. So she was like, I'm just going to make Roseanne as Absolutely Fabulous.
Whoa.
So that's what she did. And then it obviously didn't go over well. So then she thought of doing
Why
that.
did everyone hate her?
She was a nightmare. to
Really?
work with. Yeah. I had a few different people on the show who were writers for Roseanne. Like David Fury talks about it in his episode, and Penelope Spheris, who directed Wayne's World, was a writer for a bit. And Roseanne would just have like really weird, she'd just snap on you. Like Penelope and Roseanne were in a car, and Roseanne dropped her wallet, and Penelope was like, oh, you dropped your wallet. And she was like, fuck you. Like she got like mad about it and then like didn't talk to her anymore. And Fury said that Tom and Roseanne would come into the writer's room on a Friday and be like, we're doing a fundraiser this weekend and I need 20 minutes of jokes or you're fucking fired. Like they'd make them write their stand-up and stuff.
Oh my
Like
god.
weird stuff like that. So people had a hard time working for them because they were like nutcases. Like they
Wow.
were, yeah. But a great show.
She's so funny. I was
yeah.
watching a lot of her earlier stand-up, but it's so funny.
And it was so different too.
Yeah.
Because like when you would see like a woman doing stand-up that would be like Phyllis Diller, all of her jokes were like at her own expense. Like she would be like, my husband doesn't like me, I'm ugly.
Yeah.
But Roseanne would come out and be like, my husband's an idiot.
Yeah.
Which I think people take for granted now that that's like
Right.
a genre, but nobody was doing that.
Oh,
And it
so
was
funny.
Amazing. And the show, it was the most felt like how I grew up because it was so blue collar and they're like, they might lose their house or their
Right.
business closed. Or
Right.
They got the drama stuff right on that show without it feeling like a
Yeah,
very
it
special
was so
episode.
good.
I love that show. This is Roseanne worries that her nonconformist Darlene has decided to waste her life staying in Lanford with David, who has no future.
Oh, David was bad news.
Also on Big Bang Theory.
Really?
Yeah, Johnny Galecki.
Oh.
Yeah, he's doing well. Doing well. Darlene's
Oh,
on
whoa.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know it was him?
No.
Yeah, that's David. twist ending.
Oh my god.
I like to think it's the same character. Like he's in some sort of witness protection program now. They're like, you're going to be a scientist. Just pretend. And Home Improvement, a show I hated and still hate. And I'm sorry everyone
I know.
listening. They get mad that I say that I hated it, but...
Who did?
Oh, listeners. They don't
Oh,
like when I go on rants about Home Improvement.
Yeah, you know,
It's okay that people liked it. I just don't.
I understand why you don't like it. I think that but I think in theory it is fun to have a show that's two shows.
Yes, I do like that. It's almost like a brain dead Larry Sanders.
Yeah.
It's like someone who you're like, hey, you want to go to Five Guys and get a burger? And they're like, I'm fine with McDonald's.
Yeah.
Thank you. I do not need a real burger. But I liked the Home Improvement show parts, but I hated Tim Allen so much.
Tim Allen's pretty bad. I mean, Tim Allen's really bad, and I feel like they made Jill into this really shrewd
harpy, like kind of like
yeah,
they all hated her.
Yeah, and I feel like she was like a very likable actress.
Yeah, and
That,
she
like-
was the voice of reason.
Yeah.
Be like, guys, don't build a flamethrower.
But I think it's kind of crazy that a whole show could be like anchored by a 10-year-old hot boy.
JTT.
Yeah.
And look where he went now.
Where is he now?
He plays all the characters on Big Bang Theory.
No.
Yeah, he's every single character on that show.
No.
He quit acting after the couple of movies he made. He just like dropped off the face of the earth. I don't think anyone knows where he is. And
He was so cute.
did you have a poster of him?
Uh-huh.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Up in your locker at school or like in bedroom?
No, I think I didn't put it up, but I had the poster.
Were you buying like Bop and like YM and like Teen?
I didn't buy them often, like, because my parents were like, you can't,
Yeah.
we're not spending money on that. But I remember whenever I would get one, I was really excited.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
fold out JTT
Yeah.
poster. Oh man, it's the month where he's got the mullet. I thought he looked a little bit like a Munchie. He looks like have you ever seen Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey?
Uh-huh.
You know Station?
Yeah.
Go with me on this one.
Okay.
If Station, when Station's two beings, is the Olsen twins, when Station becomes one being, he's JTT. That's how I feel like he looks. Like if you split JTT
Okay.
into two people, he'd be the Olsen twins.
Okay. I mean, I see what you're saying, but I think it helps your cause that I don't have a lot of sleep
Yes.
right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think you're taking advantage.
I am
Okay.
because ET is with all of us. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
I also need to borrow $1,000.
Sure, anytime.
And I'm going with Wild Palms again because
What?
it's the continued. It's a 4-part series.
Oh my god.
I'm in for the whole week.
No.
Wednesday night 8:00. Would you go with?
Oh. Well, I'm kind of embarrassed for you that you even asked, because Wednesday night I'm doing Cheers, 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 and Cheers.
Yeah, it's they're re-showing like the pilot and then like a couple of quintessential episodes.
And I'm
'cause
there for all of
Yeah,
it.
the final episode's going to be on Thursday, so they want people to remember the good times.
Yeah.
You know? Which is a weird... I can't think of a show that did that. Like, Seinfeld had that hour-long, like, highlight special.
Yes.
But no one was like, the day before, we're going to show 2 hours of the show.
No, but I think Cheers was a little more plot heavy, right? Than Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There was definitely a lot more continuity in Cheers, which was one of the things that made it great, was, like, the characters kind of evolved.
Gives you the
and-
hook.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Do you have a favorite Cheers character?
I have a lot of discussion about this, but I think I don't know. Maybe it's Norm.
Really?
Norm might be my favorite. My boyfriend's favorite is Coach.
Really?
My boyfriend laughs out loud every time Coach talks. Isn't that crazy?
Does he generally like the dumb character, like the wacky neighbor dumb character and things? Or?
No, he's a comedian. Like he's
So he likes like the base sort of Coach.
I guess so. He thinks Coach is so funny.
I mean, he is funny.
He also is the one that ruined Cheers for me.
Because he told you the plot
Yeah.
device that Coach and Woody are the same person.
Oh, he also told me that Coach dies, which I was so upset about.
That was a big deal. Like that, like people really. I mean, especially around here, because he actually was from New England.
Oh, really?
Nicholas, what was his name? Nicholas
Yeah.
something. So people were like legitimately upset about that. But I like the dynamic shifted there, because I thought way too much about Cheers. But the great thing about that show is all the people there are sad.
Yes.
And Sam works there to feel superior to them because he's not a drunk anymore. And when he had Coach around, he needed him because he, from his old days, like he was like a grounding thing.
Yeah.
And so when he got Woody in, he had to sort of become his sort of mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an interesting thing to see, like a inherent character growth thing. Like they just they had to do it because the guy died, which is very rude. And but I do prefer the Woody years to the Coach years.
Really?
Yeah. I like Coach, but sometimes he's a little bit too dumb.
He's a little too dumb sometimes.
It is like, did you see the new Ghostbusters?
Mm-hmm.
I felt like the Chris Hemsworth character was...
He was so dumb.
But it was to the point where you're like, I think he has a developmental problem. Like,
that was
you can't...
really weird. It's really dumb.
It's too much. You can't laugh at him now. Like, he's disabled. Like, this isn't funny anymore.
No.
And so sometimes Coach gets like that a little bit. I'm like, I think that's not, like, normal dumb. Like,
I know, but I think just knowing what I do in, like, I feel like in a writer's room, you just, like, once you get a character that's dumb, I think it's just funnier for the writers to make him dumber and dumber and dumber and closer to that spectrum, where it's like, I think that makes them feel like riskier and like they're like it's funnier for them, but I think they don't realize that like it does
it's
teeter
a fine
on
line.
It is a fine line, but people are like, well, it's funnier if we push it.
But especially, like, Ghostbusters can kind of get away with it because it's, like, a more fantastical, but Cheers was just a fairly realistic show.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that dumb, you're like, he needs some kind of services or, like, a community support. I'm going with Unsolved Mysteries All Night. It's a 2-hour season finale. Terrifying show.
It seems like even the season finale would probably be even scarier.
The expanded season ender includes 4 bank robbery stories. It's a bank robbery special.
Oh my gosh.
A New York woman's search for her foster parents who cared for her briefly during her childhood, a Navy blimp that landed reportedly without a crew, and reports in Columbus, Ohio of a girl's unusual brainwave activity.
Sounds like they really packed a punch there.
They're packing a lot in there. That is a very exciting episode. Coach gets married that night on Coach.
Oh, really?
Not Coach. There's only one Coach around. Like, I imagine someone wanted to pitch a show called Coach, and once Coach died, they were like, finally. And they go in and pitch their Coach show. Different Coach.
I watched Coach. I liked Coach.
I just couldn't.
Yeah.
It's same thing as Home Improvement. And that show was a show where everyone was a dumb character.
Yes, everyone was a really dumb character.
I was like, it's too many.
I just watched it because it was on.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. There are shows I don't really like that I watched every week, like Perfect Strangers and Who's
Full
the
House.
Boss.
I didn't like Full House.
Watched every week.
I watched Who's the Boss. I didn't love it.
Yeah. People be like, do you like this show? I'm like, nah. But I have to watch it.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
I know. The only show I really liked growing up was Simpsons.
I think that's universal.
But I didn't really get why. Like, I never really laughed. I just loved it.
It was like a comfortable thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good show. Did you ever check out on The Simpsons? Because
I did.
Almost everyone has a season where they're like, I'm done. I can't. I'm done.
I stopped. But I think I just liked it because it reminded me of my family so much.
Because your family all has jaundice.
Yes.
They're all doing better now. Yeah, no, I think that's true of a lot of people. It was it was a more realistic dynamic, but it was a cartoon. I watched it recently, and I don't know if you've revisited it at all, but it really weirded me out because they use smartphones and stuff, which totally makes sense. Like, it's a contemporary show.
But it is kind of fun to see like what's happening. Like in a recent episode, Tom Sharpling was in it. Sharpling and Worcester were in it.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's a fun thing that can happen with having present Simpsons.
I'm like, I know these people.
Yeah.
How is this? It's super weird. I'm like, by all accounts, this is fine, but it's really weirding me out.
Yeah.
Because it's like watching an old movie. It's like if we watch Death Becomes Her and all of a sudden they pull out an iPhone.
Yeah,
You're like, wait, they didn't have those. They can't.
I know.
Yeah. So if someone wants to CG
I know, because everyone stays the same age.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is kind of nice. It's America.
Yes.
When I look at that show, when that show first started, I was the same age as Bart. So I think I was in 4th grade and he was in 4th grade.
Yeah.
And so it is weird to be like almost 40 and be like, he's still in 4th grade.
Whoa.
Poor kid is still in 4th grade. He ain't never getting out. Thursday night, Did you go Seinfeld at 8?
No, I didn't.
What'd you go with?
I went with Murder, She Wrote.
Again, 2
I
Murder,
know.
She Wrotes. You forsook The Simpsons.
I think I probably was in the mood for it.
You need a little palate cleanser before you dive into the final
Exactly.
Cheers. Yeah. So it'd be funny if you didn't go with Cheers at 9 o'clock all week. And then you're like, nope, didn't want to see it.
Didn't want to really
I
see
still
it,
haven't
you
seen
know?
the ending.
No, thanks.
Do you remember the final episode?
No.
Did you end up watching it when you revisited?
No, I stopped watching after they broke up.
They broke. So you never watched any of the Rebecca years?
No.
Wow. You should. It's good.
Okay.
I mean, it's your life. You do you.
Okay.
But I think it's good to watch. I won't read what happens in the final episode.
You won't?
Well, then you won't watch it.
Sometimes you gotta go.
They found out. Here it is. JTT's the secret owner of the bar.
No.
He comes in and he shuts them all
Are you
down.
reading that?
Yeah, I'm reading it right here.
No.
Yeah, I had to watch it. They did because it's Boston, they did a live broadcast from the Bullfinch pub.
Oh.
And have you ever been?
No.
I know
wanna
you're not
go.
here long today, but next time you're here, let me know. We'll go.
Okay.
We should go and we'll tape it.
Okay.
And it's the actual bar. It's not like the
Wow.
one they've made for tourists. It's the one that they based it on, and it's kind of cool to go there.
What's it called?
The Bullfinch. But they had a live broadcast of Leno from the Bullfinch after the final Cheers with all the cast, and it was insane. And we went. I think I was 12, and they were all hammered. I talked to Ted Danson about it. He's like, I do not remember that. They were hammered, and it was nuts. John Kerry was there, and he was hammered. Everyone was hammered.
What?
And it was on live TV, national.
Wow.
It was crazy. It was the biggest thing that ever happened here. So I have a really weird,
Wow.
specific memory of that final episode.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. Final night of the week, Friday night. What'd you go with? 8 o'clock.
I thought I'd have just gotten out of a long week. Wanted to really just kind of fully immerse myself in something very unfamiliar. So I went with a TV movie.
Okay.
Well, it's not a TV movie, but it's a movie on TV.
Movie on TV, which makes it a TV movie.
Basic Instinct.
Oh, yeah, edited for television. Basic Instinct. Have you seen Basic Instinct? I saw that with my dad.
Ew.
I was really, that's uncomfortable. Yeah. I don't like that movie.
You don't?
I don't know. I really like Sharon Stone,
Mhm.
and not just because she's naked in the whole movie, but I find her engaging to watch in movies.
Yes.
Even though everybody universally hates her.
Why?
She's apparently just a mega bitch,
Oh.
and I know people have worked with her. And one of them said to me, he goes, "Sharon's very smart, and she'll tell you that every time she has a chance to."
No.
She was in a movie with Cassandra Peterson, who's Elvira, in South Africa. And this is a funny story. They made a movie called King Solomon's Mines, which was a ripoff of Indiana Jones, and she's in that. And the guy who produced the movie was this Israeli guy named Goran Globus from a company called Golan Globus. And he said when they were casting the movie, he goes, "I want that stone woman. I want the stone woman." So they hire Sharon Stone. And he's watching the screening of the movie, and he goes, "Who is this fucking bitch?" And they're like, "It's the Stone." And he goes, "No, from Romancing the Stone." He wanted Kathleen Turner.
Oh.
So, but everyone hated her on the set, and she demanded a milk bath every day, and all the South African people used to piss in it. She never knew.
What?
Cassandra knew, and she was like, "They're peeing in that. They hate you."
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait, a milk bath? What's that?
She would make them fill a bath with milk, and then would bathe in it.
Ew.
Warm milk. Yeah,
Ew.
that doesn't sound nice.
Sounds really gross.
Yeah,
It sounds like you'd stink afterwards.
I feel like you'd turn into cheese.
At least some parts of you.
Yeah, if I'm drinking, if I'm eating cereal and a drop of milk splashes on my shirt, I'm like, I have to wash it now because it'll smell like rinsed milk. all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never mind, if I was just soaking in it.
No, that's so gross.
Yeah.
Sharon Stone, what are you doing?
Yeah. Now I've never met her. My uncle did. She was his date to an AIDS Action Committee event once.
Really?
Yeah. Long story, but
Weird.
I won't get into. But I just now imagine she just smells like rancid milk all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that? It's Sharon Stone. Because the only thing worse than being in a rancid milk bath is a rancid milk bath with urine in it. Poor Sharon Stone.
Poor Sharon Stone.
So that's a fun night right there. Do you
Yeah.
remember how old you were when you saw that? Were you watching like?
I think I was
inappropriate
maybe
movies?
like 13, 14.
So that's probably too young to see that.
Yeah.
Were your parents strict about like no R-rated movies?
Yes.
And so you were like,
I go to someone else's house.
and you get away with it.
Yeah. We'd watch. I remember we watched Blue Lagoon when I was
Oh.
like 10,
Yeah.
and I saw a penis for the first time. I thought, whoa. My parents would not like this. But my
Yeah.
friend Adina always had all the best movies, and that we watched Rocky Horror Picture Show a lot.
Yep. Yeah. No penises in that, but a
No.
little racy.
It's very racy.
Little racy.
It's a bunch of going on down on people scenes.
There really is, yeah. But they're like, but it's in silhouette. That's something you don't see in movies very often either. Because you're like, what's happening here? And they're like, I'll explain it when you're older. I'm watching at 8 o'clock, probably America's Most Wanted, because it's the 5th anniversary special.
Oh.
And I am just intrigued by the ad they have, which is so tasteless.
Mm-hmm.
133 murderers, 21 rapists, and 94 other felons won't be celebrating this anniversary.
No, that's so
Yep.
weird.
248 former fugitives are now behind bars as a result of America's Most Wanted. And this is where it gets weird. Tonight, relive the most exciting highlights of the show. Okay. So you're watching that all night. At 9 o'clock, I'm going to Miss Universe pageant.
Oh.
All day, super into Miss Universe.
Sure.
I love the pageants. I don't know why, but I'm watching that. Hosted by Dick Clark.
Okay.
And Cecilia Boloco.
I don't know.
She found the Boloco chain.
Oh.
No, I don't think she did, but I've never heard of her. She might be the previous year's Miss Universe, I think. That's
Sorry,
it.
I just am seeing the back page as a crossword puzzle. Could you tell me
Yes.
what one down, what the clue was?
Sure. Tony Orlando. Oh, down. Mr. Van Dyke.
4 letters.
4 letters.
Is it Dick?
It's Dick.
Great.
Yep, it's Dick. Do you want another one?
No.
Tony Orlando and it's the one across.
Mm-mm.
No,
Dick.
you're Dick.
Dick.
We end with the Dick.
End with the Dick.
That's the Jo Firestone way, everybody.
End with the dick.
And she and I didn't think we were gonna get there in this episode, but you called it before we started recording. You go, I'm gonna end with the dick, and I'm like, I don't know how you're gonna do it.
And I
And
said,
you're like,
again, we're going to end with a Dick.
ending with a dick. Well, thank you so much for
Thanks
doing
for
this.
having me.
You're welcome.
So
and,
fun.
and get some sleep.
Thank you.
Oh, baby, I see you in my TV set. Yeah, baby, I see you in my TV set. I cut your head off and put it in my TV set. I use your eyeball.
That's Jo, very tired, but she survived, had a great time talking to her. We ended with dicks, and that's how you should end everything. End with the dick. That is just good advice. Stitch it on a pillow, put it on a t-shirt, sign yearbooks with it. I'll sign all autographs like that from now on, which will not be a problem because I've never asked to sign autographs. But if you would like to email me, you can email me at tvguidancecounselor@gmail.com or at ken@icanread.com. You can go to our Facebook page, just search TV Guidance Counselor, or, I go through this every week. I'm sure you're very bored of it. But I like to hear from you guys, so I appreciate that you take the time to email me or Facebook me or tweet to me or whatever you do. Or if you don't, that's fine too. But we'll see you again next time on a brand new edition of TV Guidance Counselor.
Star charts in his brain.